you not vote for these guys to win? It's actually ridiculous. We got like GSL finalists, GSL winners of the most recent one. And I mean, JINAIR is very strong, but they only really have SOS and Maru to carry it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's look at soO, man. He looks pissed, and that's the best state of mind for him to be in right now. 11-5, 3-2. I don't know who made him angry, but I don't want to be that guy right now, and I don't want to be Maru either.
I wonder if he gets like someone in the back room to just like slap him a bunch of times, and he gets like all this energy. He's like, I'm gonna mess this guy up.
Boxer's like, you'll never win a GSL. He said, Boxer said that to me. Boxer never won a GSL either. All right, 19-13 total score here for Maru. 7-6. 5 wins in a row and a massive roar from the JINAIR crowd. This guy needs to get some momentum going because, like you said, Boomblade earlier, there's really 2 key players for JINAIR, and he's one of them. Losing him early here would be a big blow to their lineup.
Exactly right. It's a big play putting him out first. He has to win. He has to get points. He has to take out soO, one of SKT's strongest players. And, I mean, strongest Zerg for sure. And he could definitely 4-0 considering the map pool.
A sick shot of him there by Leo, the reflection of all his fangirls there. All right, let's go into game number 1. soO versus Maru on Habitation Station.
Up here in the top right in the orange for SK Telecom, the Zerg player, it's soO.
And over here, anchored to the ground, the Marine Prince, it's Maru. Not showing us any lifts, no Gangnam Terran. However, a proxy is still possible. We'll have to wait and see. And here are our JINAIR girls getting some coffee, it looks like. They're like, oh, I want coffee too.
We got some of them up on the second floor as well. Hello to you guys. Very pretty ladies.
Very pretty indeed.
Indeed. And it's very interesting that we do not see Gangnam Terran style from Maru, considering how aggressive he has been playing against Zerg, doing a lot of 2-racks, pressure into transitioning. It's kind of interesting, and I wonder if we're actually going to see 2-racks from him anyway.
It is. Look at that. SCB going down right now.
Oh, man.
I actually feel like when I watch him play this, like I said earlier, it feels like it's a standard build. It feels like it's not a cheese. It's not. Yeah. It's not abnormal. It feels like he's gotten so good at this to a point that it's like just as standard as a Reaper expand or something.
Well, actually, it's a Wings of Liberty build. It's a very, very old build. It's a very, it worked very well in Wings of Liberty. It was a pressure style. It didn't always have to kill. It had to force the Zerg to make a lot of Zerglings, make a lot of units they don't want to make, and go into a transition into like a better economy, more aggressive style. And I like it a lot, and it's been doing well, very, very well.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. This is a style we used to see all the time. You know, some things got nerfed, you know, bunker times and stuff, but he's still making it work. This is Maru, man. He's so good at this build. If it works for him, why not?
Yeah, you know, don't change what's working already. Now this Overlord will see this. Is a hatch first with an additional drone made, but it looks like he's just going to stop there and drop the 16 pull down. And he needs to do that, of course, upon seeing that there are going to be proxied barracks. He checks to make sure it's not an insanely forward location. That's another thing about Maru to note about these proxy locations. We've seen it do it on 3-player maps, seen it do it on 4-player maps, but on 2-player maps, he doesn't put them very far forward. He puts them in a very conservative location where it takes longer to reinforce, but it's a lot easier to transition.
Yeah, and I'm actually wondering if this 16 pool is going to cause a lot of damage. I mean, usually we see Zergs hold it pretty convincingly with a 14 pool right after the hatchery, but he went way for the 16. He was very, very greedy, so he could be in a little bit of trouble here.
Second SCB needs to be saved here. The first one looks like it will fall. Actually does barely save it there. The Marine needs to also avoid these drones. A lot of drones being pulled here. It looks like 7 in total off the line now, so losing a lot of mining time. But that bunker is getting actually very close to finishing. One SCB will go down, but he's microing his other SCVs against these drones right now. Good micro here.
Oh, man, the micro there. He got a drone, and he's going to have to back off now with 3 Marines. That bunker's really close to finishing and finishes now. And he's going to start one on the high ground again. Spinecrawler's coming up, but I don't know. It's looking pretty late.
Yeah, now he's got a wall here with the bunkers as well. The creep's not spread far forward enough. And soO just lost way too much mining time here as well, I feel.
Oh, these drones could do some work.
Oh, man, this around. He gets one of the Marines.
But the bunkers are still building. And those Zerglings do pick off that SCV, so critical here right now, but they're not going to be able to stop that additional one building the bunker. However, he may be able to prevent the Marines from getting inside.
Yeah, he did just kill 2 of those Marines. Very nicely done by soO. And now with the Spine Crawler up, he is going to have some more defense. Queens pop out as well.
I love that he keeps the second bunker there, just giving a little bit of extra, surface area to block, make it harder for the Zerglings to attack and surround. But it looks like there's enough to break this bunker now. The question is, was the damage worth it? A lot of drones still over here fighting, but none of them die. All the Marines are gone, the last SCV, and there's the cancel. So let's see that beautiful transition, Maru. Can you make it work here against soO? 15 to 12 harvesters in his favor right now.
Yeah, definitely didn't go according to plan for Maru. He thought he could have killed, actually, getting those 2 bunkers up on the top ramp, but those drones that looked out of position actually did a lot of work killing extra Marines and kind of really zoning out the Marines from those bunkers, which is very important, especially considering that Spine Crawler was in range of the bunker. So I feel like if Marines got in there, they could have dealt with that and they could have killed the hatchery for sure.
So some alarming and concerning things for Maru here. His command center, first of all, is on the high ground, and it was late because he made those additional bunkers. Now he has nothing at home to defend these Zerglings. He's going to have to pool up some more Marines and then, for now, repair his depots with some SCVs. It's going to take him a long time to break through that. I don't think he'll actually get through with the Zerglings, but it's costing Maru a lot of money. It's costing him a lot of mining time.
Yeah, exactly right. And he definitely has enough Marines to deal with it now. He did lose a little bit of minerals from the Zerglings attacking the supplies, but not too much. And these Zerglings cannot fight these Marines unless these 3 come from the other side.
Yeah, 3 comes from the other side here.
Oh,
good
very
surround.
nice.
But Maru microing like a champ, making his Marines get their money's worth.
Doing some work, but yeah, losing his map presence, which is very important at this point. These Zerglings are enough to kind of fend off the barracks, and this natural is going to get even more delayed. So it's looking really good for soO right now.
Yeah, soO in this playing this just about as well as you can. I mean, even with the hatch first, he was able to hold it off. He was forced to make a lot of drones and stuff, but he's really getting himself back in this game. He's doing a lot of damage right now, so looking good for soO here, I have to say.
Well, he's going to probably trade here, make it 1 Marine. Maybe, actually, does not retarget.
Oh, that micro.
Oh, so nice. I love seeing Maru's micro with Marines. It's just next level. There's no one else that can do it like him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's dubbed the Marine Prince because he was once, the student of Marine King, who was once known as the best Marine splitter in the world. These barracks are flying now, which means he's missing a lot of production time on those. Well, they will eventually rejoin and make a wall at the natural, most likely, so they can get that command center up safely. soO is making a lot of lings right now.
Yeah, he's actually got to deal with these Marine presence again. There's enough Marines to cancel the hatchery, and there's no Spine Crawler in the natural.
Yeah, there's only 4 Zerglings out here. He's actually going to lose the Overlord first, and that's going to hurt him a lot here. Will supply block him. Queen coming over here. I don't think he can save this hatchery, but it's going to be close. It's got 200 hit points. He may save it with these Queens. They can't transfuse. They can do a lot of extra damage, though. Yeah, I think he's going to save it.
Getting into this nice little crack here. He's going to kill all of those Zerglings. He only lost 1 Marine, and he's starting to do even more damage. Could snipe this Queen. Getting pretty low.
The micro here from Maru is just making this a completely different game.
And this is a big problem, especially when dealing with 2 racks proxy. There's a constant pressure there. There's constant Marines on the map, as long as it doesn't get completely shut down. And they can always do this kind of damage because, I mean, Zergling speed is delayed for so much. They can just kind of micro back, constantly stutter stepping, and this is exactly what we're seeing here. We're seeing such value from these Marines.
Yeah, absolutely delayed. And look at this. He's finally surrounded them. They've had to chase them all the way down to, like, Cape Cod down there. It's like as far south as it goes on this map, and it finally cleans them up. And now let's look at the worker count. 39 becomes 41 now to 35. So soO having a lead in workers, but it's not a massive lead. With mules, Maru is sitting pretty at home with all those extra incomes that the mules can give him. He also has a 3rd CC to make triple SCVs at a time.
Yeah. Now he's going to put up the 2 engineering bays. Of course, it's going to make the wall for him, but also it's going to give him that +1/+1 that he loves to get early. And we see a 3rd base up here now for soO, but again, because he had to make so many Zerglings, he's not quite able to saturate that. And we see a Baneling nest coming down.
This is going to be a Rage Baneling by the looks of things. Off 3 base, lightly saturated. And I think this is a great follow-up considering how greedy Maru has been after this. Oh, but Maru sees everything. He's going to put down some bunkers, and he might be able to hold this, but it's going to be very hard.
I think he should make a tank. I don't know if he's got a tech lab to work with, though, on that factory in the main base. He's not making anything. Okay, there's a tank.
Yeah, he's got this. He knows. He's putting up a 2nd bunker now. He's going to send the Hellions out and scout this.
Yeah, he wants to see if he can stop any Banelings from morphing, see if he can actually kill any Zerglings while they're out here. But now that the Roaches are there, he can't actually fight this anymore. He can't contest this anymore. And this is actually so much pressure coming his way. But with the tight wall, with those eBays, they have a lot of hit points. The depot is really the only weak point. He might even want to just go ahead and make an additional wall behind that, make another eBay. I wouldn't blame him for that. But that's 16 banelings coming his way now. Siege Tank is about to pop out, and he will have that. It starts with Siege Mode now in this current version of Heart of the Swarm, so you can at least get that. It's up on the high ground here, and here we go! Here come the Banes!
They smash into the wall, but all the Banes go down with barely any damage to anything besides that one bunker in the supply depot, and this is going to be held off really well with that one tank.
Wow, and soO instantly transitions after that. He's like, okay, I cannot get anything done here. He kills a bunker and a supply depot and immediately starts droning up, going to lair, which he has to. His creep spread is amazing, so he can kind of transition and still be okay and still defend pretty well. He has to be very on guard, though. It's a very tough time considering how far behind his upgrades and tech is.
Yeah, these roaches, I'm glad he decided not to crash in with those because that's what he's going to need right now. It's going to help him defend the mid-game pressure that's coming out from Maru. Medevacs, he's got some siege tanks, he's making a second one. He's got 1-1, he's got stim. He's going to be able to get 2-2 upgrades started pretty soon as well. So he's going to need these roaches to help buffer in the defense, and so they're really so critical right now. See him moving the siege tank over here to help take a third base, it looks like now, yeah.
He's doing a really nice job as well of clearing all these overlords. It's so annoying for soO. He has to make like 5 or so just to get back his supply count to the right amount. And we see these Vikings now just clearing all the overlords off the map.
Yeah, not only does he eliminate that supply like you were talking about, but he eliminates vision of where drops might go later. So really, really handy to do that.
Yep, and considering his tech is so late, drops are going to be extra effective, and this is such a great map for dropping as well. I mean, the airspace is so huge here, and all he has is Zergling and Roaches, nothing to kill the air. He's going to have to rely on Queens to deal with Medivacs until his mutas come out, and it's going to be pretty late mutas at this point.
Our observer is doing great observing, actually. He's showing, actually, like the key points. He's like, okay, there's no overlords over here. A nice Zergling placement in here at the gold base, though, is going to see those 2 drops coming, so he should be ready for this.
Yeah. Really nice placement on that Zergling. Has the creep actually spreading in that direction as well. Really, really important to have that tumor, actually, if you want to have a safe base there. Viking gets spotted, but here's that drop you were talking about. Doesn't have any banelings here right now, and this is actually a double drop, so he can actually trade against these Zerglings insanely well if he targets the Banes.
Nice pickup there, though. He doesn't lose anything besides 1 Marine.
Yeah.
Really, really close.
Yep, and one really important thing is we see the 4th base go down, and look at the creep spread around soO's 4th. This is actually so important in defending it. It's what we saw other Zerg player yesterday fail with doing. True, I believe it was. He got completely pulled around the map by drops. He had no creep spread, and he got shut down. But I mean, this is another level of Zerg. This is soO, and he is in complete control of his side of the map.
Certainly, man. 9 mutas are on the way right now, notably, and that's going to start shutting down these drops. So the creep is there. Oh my god, this is a 4 drop, actually. He's coming in with... He's going to actually have to react pretty hard to this. A good Baneling hit, actually. Hits a lot of Marines. That was a bit of a mistake there. But now he's got Hellions even in this mix that are becoming Hellbats.
They've become Hellbats, but look at this. soO's got his entire army back here. Maru's going to have to kite this, and he's going to have to run away, boost away before those mutas get some good shots on those medevacs. He's got to be really careful.
And he decides not to drop out on the gold base. Looks like he's going to drop out over here on the low ground. The Muta's getting some really good shots off because there's mostly Marauders and Hellbats in here, not so many Marines. Pulls away at the last second. But, you know, Hellbat's bigger in Hellbat mode than they are in Hellions. Can't fit in those medevacs, so bit of a tough time getting out of there with escaping from the main base.
Yeah, and we actually don't see Baneling's speed being upgraded just yet, which is a big mistake from soO. I mean, he does have the creep spread to kind of compensate, but he's really going to have to start upgrading that soon if he wants to be aggressive.
I just want to note that during this fight in the middle of the map, at the exact same time, he replaced the creep tumor in his main base to make sure that he could spot the future drops. Great Widowmine shot there, hit a lot of Zerglings, as you could see. But soO just really on point when it comes to drop defense. I'm really enjoying watching this. He's also spreading creep in a location we don't really see used too often on the middle of the map here, down to the south, so he has an alternate way to counterattack. Maybe he can get a surround. Really, really cool stuff I'm seeing here from soO, but Maru is not stopping the aggression.
And here's the attack. He's still not ready with the Baneling speed, but he's got so many Zerglings that one tank isn't going to do so much damage. It did hit a lot of those Banelings, but still, nice splits, but a lot here from soO. The mutas are all alive still.
And those roaches being such great tanks. Here's that 4th base attack, but the creep spread is insanely good over here. As you were mentioning earlier, Moonglaze, he's got so many layers of it. And the drones will be pulled away. Does some damage, but will eventually be cleaned up. It's actually going to drop here on the low ground. A smart choice, forcing the Zerg to run around there to the south like I was talking about before.
Yep.
We'll finally clean it up.
Exactly, and this gives Maru some space to kind of go into the creep again, maybe clear some more tumors, slowly get his way forward, and kind of get a placehold near soO's base, which is very important if he wants to keep pushing.
2-2 is almost done here for soO, but 3-3 is already on the way for Maru, so he's going to have this upgrade lead eventually, and something that's going to be hard to close the gap on for soO. He's going to need a hive in order to do that. May not get to that point in this game. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we're actually going to see aggression from soO very, very soon. He's got the creep spread almost knocking on the door of Maru.
Some of those units pretty caught out there. They are going to get decently surrounded, but those banelings are off creep right now, and the spreading out of Maru is insanely good.
Insanely good indeed, and they have some Widow Mines to help him out here. There's just so many mules in the sky though, and the Roaches again being such great tanks on the low ground, and I think this is actually just going to be too much. He needs to turn his medevacs around. He's going to lose several of them here. I can't believe he's actually fighting this.
He's still fighting against it, and those Roaches are such good bolsters to the army, something we talked about a lot here. Still alive and kicking, man. They're going to regen and be ready for the next fight. A lot of beans being put here and a ton of creep tumors, again, just to push this amazing creep so much farther forward again on this map.
He likes to keep it thick. That means when Maru scans, he has to eliminate all the tumors. He can't just kill one to move forward, or else the creep will just still be there. Really liking this. It also makes the creep, spread exponentially faster as well.
Yep, and it's so important that he keeps it up, and this is one of the mistakes Zergs sometimes have a problem with. They just don't replenish the creep tumors fast enough, so the Terran continually pushes, and eventually it ends up at the Zerg's doorstep. But wow, we have another great engagement, but he's got to be careful where he fights.
Yeah, he's so off creep here, but he's got so many mutas. Baneling's rolling in with speed. There are some nice Widow Mines there on the low ground. Planetary is canceled here, and here we go. He actually starts crashing in. A lot of Marauders hit. There's just so many Roaches on the ground again here to tank, and soO. Way too much for Maru to handle. The last of the Marines are cleaned up. So are the medevacs. He can kill the command center now if he wants to. And this looks like it may actually just be the finishing blow in this game.
It's looking like, and he's streaming across the map with so many Zerglings now. He's got the Roaches still alive, and so many mutas have not gone down as well. Even a hive starter, he's not going to need that. He's going to be attacking, knocking on the doorstep of this third base. His Widow Mine's not ready, not burrowing. They do get one shot, but still more Zerglings.
More Zerglings indeed running over here. That bunker repair is helping him out quite a bit here, but I don't think it's going to last forever. It starts to cut off reinforcements now. Does end up holding against all those Zerglings miraculously, and Maru, he survives for now. I think he maybe, or soO maybe should have got some more Banelings before he really committed to engaging at that base where he could break through those depots, break through that bunker. And here they come now.
Yeah, exactly. He's just going to have to wait for Zerglings before he crashes in and deals with all the SCVs at that base. And there's just about nothing that Maru can do at this point. He just doesn't have the army. All he has is Bayou. He doesn't really have anything to deal with Mass Bane or Zergling at this point.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, here comes those Banelings. Can he actually split well against them? I mean, there's a lot of Marauders here. The Mutalisks are a big issue, but he's actually, living off of his upgrades right now. I really feel that's what's actually keeping him in this.
The upgrades and the splits, there's Marauders in the front to tank all of those Banelings, and these Zerglings are not going to be enough. There's not that big of a number of mutas left here. There's only 9, and a lot of them are being killed right now as well.
What an incredible
big turnaround here by Maru.
Incredible game we're watching right now, guys. This is a real treat now. He is going to move that orbital down to the 4th base location, but it will not be a planetary fortress, so it's a little bit easier to engage. Osmar does a double scan here. He wants to identify the 5th base. Is it mining? How long has it mined? Does he have a gold base? He sees there's no gases over here, and he decides to, of course, drop this location. Needs a split on top of the ramp here. A lot of creep.
A lot of creep. Those Banelings getting good hits as well. This might have been too aggressive, I feel. I mean, he's going to lose a lot of these medevacs as well. Those Marines somehow staying alive for a little bit longer, but the Bane's crashing in again, and that drop is totally defended.
soO's got to be feeling great about this. Destroying that drop. He knows the medevac count's fairly low right now, and his base should be safe for quite some time. I feel like what soO needs to really focus on right now is using that hive tech, because winning this game off of 2-2 upgrades and running across the map off creep hasn't really been working for him. I think it's time to get those adrenal glands. I think it's time to get that 3-3, and maybe even some more upgrades for his Mutalisks.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely can go to that stage, or he can just make a bigger army. Like, there's been so many low population trades at this point, which is great for Terran, and this is another one. There's simply just not enough Zerg together, and these mutas are taking way too many hits from the Marines.
He's not grouping his army, and now the reinforcements come across. Look at those splits, man. He's losing no Marines here. He's making it work with barely anything, but still not enough. And he's going to have to run away now. Yeah, he's going to have to run away, but he's got a lot of reinforcements popping out constantly. That 4th base that he's got up is so crucial right now. With that extra mineral mining he's got at this location, he's been able to make so many units. It is going to stop temporarily here now,
A lot of these SCVs will be targeted down, but I think he should be able to save the CC. If he sends some of the SCVs over to repair it, he's got a lot of Marines here. It's getting low, though.
Getting really, really low. He's got to send some SCVs. He's still not doing it. Maybe he just wants to save them. And look at all those Banes morphing. He's going to have to do some godlike splits once again. He just GG's out. He knows. He's too far behind. soO, he's going to take game number 1. What a crazy back and forth game.
Such a great game.
Sick game.
Highest level ZVT you'll ever see, and such back and forth action.
Oh my god, I just want them to play against each other over and over and over.
Can it just be a best of 7 Maru versus soO, please?
Yeah, could somebody make that show match happen? Maybe I'll just ask them both to do it on my stream. I'll like do a Kickstarter for donations for that prize pool, man. It'll be fun.
That's actually a great Kickstarter.
I'm thinking about making it, man. I don't know, we'll see. We'll talk about that later.
Sounds like an awesome idea.
SKT versus JINAIR here now. SKT in the lead, and JINAIR, one of their wings is clipped now with Maru off the roster. Really, really hurts. He had a great start to the game, great opening. You know, I should say he recovered well from his opening. His opening didn't do as much as he would have liked, but he recovered very well. A lot of moments in that game where it looked like he was just doing a lot of really good engagements, but he was never able to push through that creep spread. I think the creep spread is the biggest thing to note here for soO.
Yep.
Always remaking that tumor in the main base, never, ever, ever letting Maru's drops be on the edge there off creep.
It was beautiful, beautiful creep spread, and that's exactly how he held it, exactly how he held his 4th base too. And yeah, and just perfect macro from soO. It was like just relentless Zerg. It's such impressive play.
The macro, the multitasking, the entire game. Like, I wish I actually got a glimpse of that first-person view. I could have looked, but I didn't. But I'm sure he was all over that map, man.
Yeah, and I mean, now we go into the next map. Next map, I believe, Merry-Go-Round.
Yep.
It's a great Zerg map, a great Terran map. We've lost the best Terran for JINAIR, so I'm thinking we're going to see a Zerg on this map. I actually think we're going to see True.
Yeah, actually, I think really good choice to use True here. Solid ZVZ, good map for him to come out on.
I definitely agree with that.